What's up, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with NIO, Tesla, SPY, and the overall market. I'm also going to talk about why there's going to be a lot of volatility tomorrow as we have big data coming out, not to mention interesting developments for earnings. But just note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Webull link. If you deposit any amount of money, you're guaranteed 12 free stocks. If you deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 in total. Deposit $25,000 or more and you're guaranteed 75. All friends in just 2 weeks. Anyways, now let's talk about the charts. So I just want to mention that thus far, NIO has been downtrending ever since we got the big deliveries report. We got one last pop before it's been on this downtrend. And as you guys can see, we have this gap to fill all the way down here around this 5.3 area. There's a very, very good chance NIO will continue to dip. But that depends on if we end up losing the 5.46 support at our 200 EMA. So we'll have to see how things end up going. Now, when it comes to other pieces of news, I just want to mention that it's important to look at how things are going to be moving going into tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be Thursday, October 17th, 2024. Please note that at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have initial jobless claims coming out, not to mention continuing jobless claims. We have the Philly Fed employment new orders and prices paid reports coming out and more data. And then we also have more manufacturing numbers, which are going to be very important right before market opens. So we have a lot of data coming out. We have data involving jobs, not to mention manufacturing. So watch to see what this causes for our volatility. Besides that, the rest of the data is a little bit less intense as we just have a couple of bill auctions, nothing else that's too crazy. So that's what we're basically looking out for the day of Thursday, right? Minor data, at least to start things off. We have more major data right before open, and then for the rest of the day, things will cool off. When it comes to other pieces of news, I want to I want to mention that for earnings, we have TSMC before market open, and then we have Netflix after market close. So it's going to be very important to dictate how tech ends up moving. Let me go over this real quick. We did see the Dow dip a little bit, not dip, but rise a little bit after our dip yesterday. So we're trying to rebound. Same thing with the S&P 500 holding support and the Nasdaq. So now we're so far remaining more bullish. As far as NIO goes now, there's been a lot of talk about their ET5T, which is giving a lot more exposure for not only their company in European countries, but also it's giving us more and more opportunity for families. So families are actually going to be interested in cars just like this, and I think that these are going to be very useful for us at least to move forward. On top of this, there's been a lot of talk about our deliveries. We've got about 4,700 for the second week of October. Not bad whatsoever, a slight improvement compared to the first week. But typically the last 2 weeks become stronger, especially the last one, so watch and see how that goes. NIO had about 46 million in volume. That's a little bit below average. As far as short volume goes, we're kind of stuck in a very interesting place. We're seeing it going up a little bit. I also want to mention that JP Morgan gave NIO an overweight rating. And the price price ratio is dipping right over here towards this lower level down here around this a little bit of a dip. So this is what's causing us to lose some strength for the last couple of days. Historically, Thursdays are only green about 49% of the time. And we see more volatility around 11 o'clock a.m., not to mention 2 p.m. So what do I see for the charts? What is my opinion of all these different charts? The answer is we're looking a little bit more bearish. NIO has barely been holding support at 5.46. If that fails us, we're looking for this gap fill all the way down towards 5.34. On top of this, when it comes to other factors, we have basically SPY. SPY is also looking a little bit more bullish on the other hand, because if you look at the trend, we were riding our 20 EMA up for a couple of weeks. Then we rode and held our 50 EMA, or at least we tried to get bought back very close to it. And then after that, we've been continuing to hold our 20 EMA. So as of recent, we kind of like dipped yesterday, only to get bought back up at the 20 EMA. So if we lose 579.78 tomorrow, we're going to be looking for a dip back down towards 575. And if we hold support, we could attempt to rebound and continue to push up to this imbalance. This may drag SPY up towards that 584 area, closer to all-time highs. As of right now, we're holding support, so just favor that upside move, so watch for that. For ES, we're also attempting to rebound. We got back above our 20 EMA, and it could be on its way back up to about 5,900. So we'll have to see if we hold above 5,880. Watch 5,871 as our support and 5,880. If we hold those, we're looking for 5,900. For other factors out there, we have Nvda. Nvidia is also doing a good job at holding if it bounced off its 50 EMA. And this imbalance is going to take us all the way up towards that 137 area. As long as we're above 135, I do see 137 as a potential target. For Bitcoin, we're dipping right over here. We're just kind of flat right now. I could be looking for a small dip towards about 67,250 before it tries to rebound. So watch and see how things end up moving. For Tesla, Tesla's attempting to rebound as well. Look at that resistance around 225. If we hold and break past 225, we're looking for a bigger push for 227. If we end up losing 220 and don't hold it, we're looking for 217. As of right now, we look a little bit more bullish, so 225 looks more probable. So watch and see how that ends up moving. NQ is looking decent. We're looking at 20,346 as our resistance. If this breaks, we're looking for a bigger pushback up. We're seeing some buyers defending tech. We will see if we can get back above 20,346. Look for a test of that tomorrow, and we'll see what the move ends up being. For the QQQ, we're range bound right now. We have support at 489 and resistance at 492. We're stuck in the middle. We'll see if we break 492 or not to continue to go higher. We will see. I think we might be testing 492 tomorrow morning. We'll see what the reaction happens to be, but there is some upside potential. Apple dumped down to about 230 only to rebound. So it held 230. We didn't lose that to dip to about 228. We held this. And now we could be looking for 233 as our potential targets. For the IWM Russell 2000, we're trying to push to 227. So there's a good chance it continues all the way up there. So give this the time it needs. For Amazon, we're also stuck in the middle. We're looking for this support at 186.9. If this breaks, we're looking for the imbalance to fall towards 188. And if we lose 186.4, we're going to be looking for a dip. Overall, we are looking like we could retest 188. Meta looks like it has a lower high that's being made. If we manage to bounce here, we're looking for basically 580 as our target. If we end up losing support at 574, we're looking for a dip back down to 571. For Microsoft, we're making lower highs right now. We basically hit this 417 area. If that breaks, we're looking for 418.6. And with this potential rejection here, we're looking for a dip back down to the 412 area. For Google, we're also rejecting here. We're going to be looking for basically 165 to be retested. We'll see if we bounce or not. So give this the time it needs. But this is going to be very, very key for the way things end up moving. But with that being said, I just want to say I really appreciate you guys so much for listening. NIO is doing a decent job, but despite the fact that we're looking bearish, so technically we're doing a decent job with our sales and such, but we're also bearish. So it might dip a little bit more, get closer to 5 before it tries to bounce, but we're looking for basically a target of about 5.3 tomorrow to fill that gap. And we'll see if we bounce after that. But for now, look for more downside. I appreciate you guys so much for listening. So please have a great day. And I'll see you guys very soon tomorrow for another update. Get ready for some high volatility. We could be making a big move once we get all this data for the broader markets out there before market open. Once we open, expect a big move. And I do think that NIO could tip a little bit more. So just be ready for that. But until I see you guys again, once again, I appreciate you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys have a great day, night, or evening, wherever you guys are around the world. So just be very patient with these markets. They are very tricky sometimes, especially with all the chop that's going on. But stay strong, guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again for listening, and peace out.